Yo Indias, good morning, it's your boy Yomidanian. In today's video, I actually want to show you a simple setup I got on gold and Aussie. So I'm going to be showing you what gold and Aussie actually looks like from today to some weeks to come, I don't know. But it's just a simple technical setup I saw that's actually going to be playing out in a few days or so to come. Okay guys, before I go into that, I actually want you guys to know I'm not a financial advisor. I tell you what I say, which is technical analysis. So you guys want to make sure you use this just for just as a confluence to your whole trading analysis. You don't want to take my words for like I say you should sell like then when I said I lose the account. No, I'm not a financial advisor. I just trade simple technical analysis. Okay, without being said, let's get straight to the game. So basically we're gonna be looking at gold first, then we're gonna be looking at the Aussie as the next one. Okay, so on gold, what I see we're gonna be looking at is we're gonna be looking at a weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, there's something I saw on gold which makes me actually put more attention to it right now. So there's something we actually play out, which we all knows. If you've been trading gold for a very long time, you know gold is full of patterns. So what is happening on gold right now is that gold is actually trying to form some kind of flag pattern. What is a continuation move for the move gold did earlier. So now let's go to gold. Let's go back on gold. This is on weekly time frame on gold. What are you looking at? If you try to play back all these candles and see what is happening, you're gonna fucking understand that gold pull up all the way from the low last year and make an high around the 2078 area at June 2020. Then around June, August, something. Then from there, they decline at that price at 2074, decline at that price and start to make its way all the way back to the downside. I was on a Zoom with one of my guys whereby I tell them when we're seeing gold dropping, I basically told him like, yeah, we're gonna be looking at gold at the 618 area of this impulse from here to the upside, which I placed my fib again. I'm gonna put the fib right there again. I put my feed back then. I gotta look for the recording back from this area because this was an input. After this shift in momentum around this point, there was a nice surge to the upside that break this top right there. Then price pushed higher. Then I placed a feed from here at the low at that point in time, then bring it all the way back into this point. Then I was looking at if gold decide to drop more around that area from that point, then we're gonna be looking at what the 618 fib area. Eventually, gold came all the way back into that point and make a higher decline in making higher retracement, like gold reverse in price and try to start to push higher, as that's what played out on gold earlier. So basically what we can see right here is that we're looking at gold playing out on a flag pattern. This is a flag pattern, which simply means we got an impulse around this point to the upside, then we got what decline implies all the way into a retracement level of the flag pole. This is the flag pole that we have from this point to the upside. Then we got price coming all the way to the downside and decline all the way to what? To the 618, which is a golden fib area, into the C leg of the flag pole. So which simply means on the flag pole we had a full movement around this point. Then we're gonna see something like the A, B, C, which is aligned at what? At the C leg of this flag pole, which is the 618 from this point to this point. So which simply means when you see some setup like this, I was in the buy right from here talking to my guys like we're gonna look out for buy at this point. So when you look at gold and you see this kind of setup, you actually knows that if this flag pattern is actually gonna play out, then we actually are looking at a move from this point all the way back into this top. Probably gonna break this top. So but not until the length of this flag, this first leg of this flag is being taken out, we can now anticipate them coming all the way to the upside. But the main movement of flag pattern is when the flag pattern start from C point and is around the golden fib area, then we can actually look at them breaking up this top or probably higher more than this top. But now what is my target when I was looking at the buy around this point? I'm looking at gold coming all the way back into what? The 2078 area, which was the high that we had at that point in time. Now let's look at another confluence that makes gold pull up from this area. It's not just based off the flag pattern, it's not just based off what the 618 area, but there was reaction, past reaction back around this point. You can see we got past reaction back in the March 2020. But then we got some kind of pull up, then price came back to respect it, which actually is acting as what is support at that present point in time. Around this point, price came back about 2 times to respect that area. So when price is actually coming around this point, I was like, yeah, if price is gonna bounce from that point, then it's gonna be a sudden C leg, because we got other confluence matching around this area, which is the C leg of the flag pattern, and also the 618 of the leg pull that we have of the flag pattern. So now, what is my analysis on gold right now? We see in the long pattern, we're still looking out for longs around this area, because we want to see if gold is going to give us, look at, we on the weekly time frame, so there's been series of weeks gold has been pulling to the upside. So we having a target around this point, but we're looking out to see if we can get some sort of retracement a little bit, which is going to be a retracement for this first leg, probably back into this area. It's likely possible we can see gold come back into some area like this in point, then eventually makes their way back into the top. But overall on gold, we're looking at for long, but should in case we see some opportunity to sell this pair, I wouldn't advise we're selling actually, but if you're a counter trade trader, you can look for sell, then eventually buy the pair back up. But to be sincere with you, I will actually just wait out to see the sell comes back into action, then I will take the long opportunity to the upside. Well, this is just a scenario that could occur. Then there's another one that could actually occur. We're looking at gold to retest this trend line that was being taken out, which is for the flag. Then it's highly possible we get some kind of retest back into this area, then gold is actually going to continue its way to the upside. Gold sometimes doesn't really play out. They don't really do some kind of deep retest. Sometimes what they do is what they just give out the way. Oh, sorry, it seems I did something wrong. What they do is they just try to give us the way. They just try to give us the way, then makes the just kind of give you a little bit of retracement, then continue the way back into where they're actually going up to. So now this is what we had on gold. This is what we had on gold. So I'm looking to see if gold can give us a retest back into this support area. If they can come back into this support area, then we're gonna look out for longs opportunity around this point. So I'm not saying we look out for long right. I'm for short right now. I'm not interested in the short right now. I'm waiting to see if we can get gold back into this area, because at this point we get some sort of mitigation that might actually want to occur right there. Then we want to play out some kind of fifth pattern sheet, whereby we're gonna put the fifth from this point, then take it to the upside and see if gold want to come back into a golden fib around that point for a nice long opportunity. So basically what I'm waiting to see, if gold comes back into this point, then I'm actually gonna long to the upside. If I see buy opportunity right here, should in case gold deep a little bit more, then I'm gonna place in my fib from this point in time back into whatever the top is. I don't know yet. Then probably the 618 is gonna align around this point for a deep retest. Then I'm gonna take the long opportunity to the upside. So basically the analysis I got on gold is I want to see a bit short of retracement, then I will actually take the long to the upside. And mind you, there's another scenario that can occur, which is if gold can push up a little bit higher before the sell, maybe they do something like this. Maybe you experience gold coming back into some areas like this, then it's going to give us opportunity to look out for sell. And the sell is going to be a little bit short one, whereby we can get something of sorts, something like this, then eventually take the long to the upside, because we had a nice order flowing sitting around this point. But the next thing I want to show is like I want us to just be patient to look out for target wherever the short area you and wherever the long area you're able to get around this point in time. Maybe whenever gold comes back to the downside and you're able to take the long opportunity, we're looking out for this top for the target, because a flag pattern really sells a movement from here to the upside. You should target of a flag pattern is where your target should actually go after the breakout. So after the breakout, we're targeting this point in time, which is actually the top of this flag. So basically we're looking at for a little bit sells on gold, then we can actually get in the long for it. So that's for gold. And the next one is going to be Aussie. These are just the two pairs I want to show. So on Aussie, what does Aussie look like? Aussie has been on the run to the upside. $1 has been declined for months, so we actually can see Aussie trying to respect the high around this point in time, because this was a resistance that we got back in 2017. Then the same resistance occurred in 2018 as of January. Then Aussie is trying to respect that kind of resistance again right now to see what it's going to do. We still have a few more pips back into that area, and mind you, Aussie might not eventually make his way back there. We had a nice order around this point, which Aussie is respecting. When Aussie goes back into that pair, when she got back into that order that we got, other block that we have around this area where the big boys are sitting down, she declined in price. There's nothing much to talk about Aussie right now. We can now see that we are on a long impulse move, which definitely needed slight retracement, at least back to some certain point in time before the long can actually continue. So what I actually have on Aussie is a very simple thing. I see some sort of pattern playing out right now, which is the head and shoulder. So on a head and shoulder, you guys already know when you have a head and shoulder on the price, it's actually gonna push price to the other side of the pattern. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at for sales. So basically the sell is like this. I'm looking at for price to come down a little back into some areas right here, into where we are, the support area. So this what's it called, pattern that we have is actually a pattern that is telling us that we're gonna looking at for sell. So basically we need dollars to pull up. When dollars start pulling up, then Aussie is gonna decline in price. Same thing as the fiber and the cable. So we want to look out for sales on this one based on this pattern. This was a nice head and shoulder pattern that we have right there. I'm going to redraw it for those of you that doesn't know how to do that. We got the neckline around this point that we did with the left shoulder, then price back into the neckline, then we got the head right here, price back into the neckline again, then we got the left shoulder around this point, then price back into we're expecting price to continue his way back into the downside. Basically, we should have used this as a neckline, but we as the right shoulder, but price wasn't able to break the neckline at that point in time. So I'm making this because we got this higher than this at that point in time. So basically that is the scenario one. The other one is I'm gonna place my fib from this point, then bring it all the way to this low that we had in this point. Then we can look at price respecting the golden fib, which is around the 71 fib ratio, targeting what the negative 0.618 golden fib ratio. So on Aussie, you can actually play some kind of other sort of technical analysis stuff like that, but I'm looking at for sales on this. And where am I targeting? I already tell you I'm going to place a fib from this point. I'm going to bring it all the way to the upside. Then I'm going to be looking at the golden fib number one up to way to the 70.6 area for my target. Along this line, we're going to see some kind of pattern trying to play out or trying to form, but we want to wait patiently for them to form fast. So basically I'm waiting for, oh wait, something like this is actually trying to play out. We can actually get some sort of bad pattern trying to show up right here, which simply means if that pattern is going to play out, we're going to be expecting Aussie to dip a little bit back into this area, into the 88.6 fib area. So we want to see if Aussie actually is going to play out for the sell, then we're gonna look out for a big time sell all the way back into the 0.698 region. So that is for Aussie. You guys want to look out for sell on that area for Aussie. Basically, I would like to place a limit if I got a kind of limit around this point, again, to see if Aussie is going to come back into that area or probably break it a little bit back into this point. So my limit, if I'm going to place any limit, I'm going to be placing it somewhere right here. So in case Aussie want to break back into that point, because that area is actually going to be my 70.6 area. Let me try to pull a fib just to be well sure. From here, let me see to here, then I got something like now. Place it a little bit more lower. Yeah, so around the 70.6 fib area, I can definitely place a limit, which is the 0.79 region area, just for sales to come up, should in case Aussie pushed up before the sell. But mind you, I'm looking out for big time sell on Aussie. I'm waiting patiently for that pair to show up, whatever they called right there. So on gold, we're looking out for long opportunity on gold. So we want some sort of short on gold then before we buy. Then on Aussie, we're looking out for sell opportunity. We want some sort of push up a little bit higher, or probably the sell maybe might be ready, who knows, but we're still looking at for sell on Aussie. You guys can try to play some kind of technical analysis on your own, but mind you, this is not a signal, or this is not, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just trying to show you what I see on the trade. Sells on Aussie, buys on gold. With that being said, I'll see you guys whenever I see a next setup again, or probably next week when I'm going to do my weekly review. Thank you.